Does porn make you lazy? Hi, my name is Luke Vu, PhD, clinical psychologist, mental health expert, helping young men overcome digital addiction, depression, and anxiety. In this video, we're doing a quick recap of how porn can broadly affect your motivation. Now, psychologists like to nerd out and break down motivation into drive, desire, incentives, and behavior patterns. But most patients use the term unmotivated to refer to as uninterested or lazy, so that's what we're going to look at in this video. Quick disclaimer, I'm not your psych, this isn't treatment, and if you need a psychologist, you should find a registered, qualified psych in your area. So what is the brain's reward system and how is it affected by dopamine? Now, our brains are complex, with many different interacting systems that reward and shape behavior. Now, neurotransmitters such as serotonin, endorphins, and dopamine, among others, are involved in the motivation and reward of simple and complex behaviors. For example, we know that serotonin is involved in the regulation of mood and prosocial behaviors. Endorphins are involved in pain relief and euphoria. We experience this during exercise or laughter. Dopamine is the most discussed neurotransmitter in addiction because it's heavily involved in the anticipation and receipt of predicted rewards. Dopamine is the get after it signal when you think you're going to get an expected reward. Now, dopamine does not only reward behavior, it drives goal-oriented behavior, and dopamine spikes when the reward is uncertain. So how does porn interact with dopamine? So first, pornography is a supernormal stimulus. It elicits a greater arousal response than what we have evolutionarily been adapted to. Sex is inherently interesting to us as a species, and novel sex is even more interesting. Online pornography is endlessly novel, and this constant uncertainty from what new video is out there creates the ideal setup for maximum dopamine output. So as you search, find, and satisfy yourself, the drive to repeat this behavior pattern gets stronger. However, dopamine overstimulation is thought to result in desensitization or downregulation. Our brains will naturally calibrate and downregulate the amount of dopamine you can get from a specific source. Now, arguably, this results in two outcomes. One, you start to build a tolerance to the amount or type of porn you consume. And two, you have to increase the intensity of use to feel the same level of excitement that you felt at the beginning. Porn will take up more of your time while giving the same amount of reward. Over years, this pattern can become so ingrained that it's argued that longer-term structural and connectivity brain changes can be observed. Now, this is largely still an active area of research. It's not clear if this happens in everyone or mostly observed in severe chronic cases. We don't even know if dopamine is the best way to think about this problem. So now that you have enough context about dopamine, let's pause the neuroscience for a second and ask, how does chronic porn use make you lazy? I think it's really helpful to see the context in which porn is used rather than just the brain mechanisms. There are three main points here. 1. Disturbed sleep patterns. Problematic pornography use often impairs healthy sleep patterns. It's often consumed late at night when your partner is sleeping at the cost of adequate sleep for months, even years. Sleep deprivation has huge impacts on a range of areas such as decision making, stress tolerance, emotion regulation, and you guessed it, dopamine regulation. Let's face it, you're not going to make that early gym session, lecture, or meeting if you've been binging on porn all night. 2. Emotional and experiential avoidance. Pornography can also be used excessively as a procrastination tactic when faced with daunting tasks like assessments, life admin, work presentations. In this way, pornography is used as an unhelpful distraction or coping tool to manage mild anxiety or stress. Sometimes pornography is also used to temporarily manage mood symptoms. When we experience difficult emotions, we seek to avoid them by using a powerful or addictive stimulus. When we feel worthless or down, sexual stimuli can engage us away from painful thoughts. We often make the problem worse and reinforce the pattern of seeking temporary relief rather than investing in a longer-term solution. 3. Inhibited brain function. Pornography also has some unique short-term effects on risk-taking and executive functioning. When we're in a sexually aroused state, we're often impaired in thinking about long-term goals and we take more risks instead. We're more impulsive, emotional, and take less time to make decisions. In a way, we enter the mind state that favors short-term goals rather than long-term goals. From the brain science perspective, activity in the prefrontal cortex, the center for logic and planning, becomes inhibited by the amygdala, the center for emotion and sexual arousal, as well as the nucleus accumbens, the center for reward and motivation. And these are only some of the contextual factors that might affect your motivation. We haven't even covered how relationship stress and pornography beliefs can affect your drive to connect or seek romantic relationships. Does desensitization from one source of dopamine affect how much dopamine you can get from other sources? Now, it's possible that chronic overstimulation of dopamine can lead to dysregulation of the dopamine system, such that you can view other activities as less rewarding and become disinterested. And we often see this in addiction treatment, especially with substances that directly affect dopaminergic pathways, such as cocaine. A very common experience for those in recovery is intense boredom and an inability to become excited. However, contextual factors such as the ones above can play a massive role for the majority of problematic pornography users. We are way more complex, and there are many more interacting factors at play for motivation to simply be a function of just dopamine. If my porn use is regulated, is this something I should worry about? Not really if your porn use is regulated. That is, you don't exceed more than you intend to, you're deliberate about the categories you consume, you don't experience negative emotions after use, and you regularly take breaks and have other healthy avenues for sexual expression and no negative impact on your quality of life. If you meet that, then you're golden. And if you're struggling, it's worth considering reaching out to a mental health professional. Sometimes we get caught up on how pornography has the potential to be an addictive stimulus that we forget how porn also interferes by creating and reinforcing unhealthy patterns. Stay on your A game and keep fighting the good fight. I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm Luke Fu. Be kind, be you. Catch you next time.